Are you a firefighter who's been experiencing a lot of stress lately? Have you just been feeling stressed out being a fire service professional? Today, I want to give you some insight to help you break the habit cycles and essentially become a total unbothered badass. So welcome, hotshots, to Firepower X. This is the place where we help you stay one step ahead of stress as a firefighter. My name is Jess. I am a former firefighter and a neuro-linguistic programming master practitioner. What is that? That's a personal trainer for your mind. And my goal on this channel is to give you mental performance strategies so that you can be unbothered at work and at home. So welcome, you're in the perfect place to learn these skills. Today, I want to dispel some of the myths because I hear so often that stress is inevitable. I went to a lot of conferences this past year, and many of the mental health speakers opened with, well, stress is inevitable. And I wanted to raise my hand and say, please quit propagating this narrative because it's not inevitable. What they're trying to say is that things that we can perceive as stressful will continue to happen in our life. Yes, there's constant changes outside of us. The circumstances are changing, people are changing, our situations are changing, and some of those can trigger us to have a stress response. But really, what is stress actually? If you can start to see it instead as this inevitable thing on the outside of you and start to see it as stress is my response, then you can take control of it. Because what can we actually control? Ourselves. We can control the elements of ourselves, the things that we have that we can actually deal with instead of trying to make our lives perfect so that we never feel stressed. That's actually the approach so many people try to take. They try to make everything in their life perfect so they don't experience stress. It's a futile effort because things happen, accidents happen, mistakes happen, bad luck happens. These things just happen. But again, what can we control? Ourselves. Today I want to talk about self-control and adding this element so that we essentially become whoever we want to be instead of someone who is stressed out all the time. Stress is a habit, and you get to change your habits. You get to choose your habits. Your habits right now are something that you learned a long time ago and you practice today. You learned it a long time ago. You practiced it so much that now it feels automatic. So when we look at the habit cycle, and this is from the book, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg, I highly recommend it. But it boils it down to three things in the habit cycle. There's a cue, the event, the person, the situation that we are perceiving, which we interpret it as stressful, our behavior. This is our response, how we follow up with it. And then there's always a reward. There is a reward for that behavior that then reinforces the habit cycle, and it goes round and around and around. So what do you do if you want to become totally unbothered? If you want to be cool, calm, collected like a cucumber, instead of frazzled at every turn, we have to change this part. This is where stress comes in. Because whatever it was that set you off, you saw something, you heard something, you perceived something, your brain automatically predicted as stressful. It says, ooh, I recognize the patterns of this. This happened to us before. All of a sudden, you're stressed out, and the behaviors that you are typically using in response to stress have some reward to them. Let's say maybe when you get stressed out, maybe somebody at work, you ran a bad call, and your stress response is stress eating. You go to the fridge, you have a bunch of sugar or salt or beer. It could be that too. The behavior that's kind of ingrained in you. You do that automatically. You don't even think about it. You get stressed, you go do it, and then the payoff is the dopaminergic hit of eating, right? Or drinking. When we drink, we kind of get out of our own minds a little bit. We get some like distance from the problem because we're in an inebriated state. Takes the edge off. That's the reward. So in order to become whoever we want to be, we learn that when we get the cue, we do a different behavior instead. And that behavior, it could be a bunch of different stuff. Some of the things I like to recommend to people are taking a cold shower. Like if you're really stressed out, your body is just in this reactionary phase, go take a cold shower because it breaks the pattern. It is something different instead of whatever your normal behavior is, or going for a really long run or something really strenuous. I find with a lot of folks, getting your body involved really helps. Another one you can do is just practicing detachment. That is really hard unless you've been practicing it. I'm not saying it's impossible, but your brain really wants to fixate on things that are bothering us. Detachment is something you can start to practice where when you feel the stress coming on, you go take a break from whatever it is, a mental break, a mental breather. That can be you take a nap or get a good night's sleep, or you just go do something else to totally remove your attention, your mind from the problem. And what happens in being in that relaxed state instead of a stressful state, often the answers, the solutions, I find the reward is you're not fretting about it or fixating on it or keeping your body in an agitated state. Instead, in the moments you get the cue that you're stressed, you detach, you go do something else. The reward is you're calm, you're cool, you're practicing that, and then you find solutions better because you have a clearer head. You have a clearer head about it because Einstein said the energy of the problem and the energy of the solution are two different places, essentially. I mean, from a focus and perspective phase. If you're just fixating on a problem, sometimes it's really hard to see the solution right away because you need more perspective. You need to take a step back, get a bigger picture, and then you have a better grasp on, okay, this is how I want to move forward based on my personality, who I am, what my goals are. Practice the new behavior until it becomes automatic. And then you can essentially eliminate stress from your life completely. You can eliminate it. You can get to a point, and I have done this, where you, instead of acting stressed out at the cues, you've practiced doing something different to the point where you have a totally different payoff. And so you've reprogrammed to be who you want to be and not just to be who everybody else is, because everyone else out there reacts in a way that has been demonstrated to them. They learn from a parent. Maybe dad was really angry and so they get angry. We learn these from society, and society as a whole is very trigger happy. When things happen, people freak out. That's their first reaction. They lose their minds. A lot of people frequently do this. That's what the social norm is. Many people do not stay stoic when something stressful happens. They have a hard time maintaining calm. But remember, you're already doing this at work. You go deal with other people's problems, other people's emergencies. You handle them calm, cool detachment as a firefighter. And your reward is you are seen as professional. You are able to maintain relative objectivity to deal with other people's problems very quickly, efficiently, according to SOPs. The reward is you operate and maintain professionalism. That's the reward. All you have to do in order to adopt this in your own life is use the same strategies. So know this, you're already doing this successfully at work. Apply it to your personal life, and you're going to see success. Let me know what you thought. Drop a comment below. I'm happy to engage with you. And if you want more content like this on mental performance, how to get out of stress loops, how to reprogram yourself, come check us out over at firepowerx.com, where we have videos, we have coaching opportunities, and we have peer-to-peer networking. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in the next video.